I'm kind of getting chills. Oh my God. Did you hear the tone of voice? Ooh, I'm sorry. Whoa, I did the terrible thing. Oh, you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, my name is Brandon. I'm an acting and performance coach, and we are going to be doing another Jump the Line request from Clara. Thank you so much, Clara. This is the Taylor Swift All Too Well short film. I say short film, true. Yes, long music video. It's a 14 minutes and 55 seconds. And I'm going to tell you, with Taylor, copyright is a problem. So if I had to put a watermark, try to help keep it from getting blocked and restricted, I might have to do that, but I'll do my very best to keep it as true to the original as possible. Anyways, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, check the description for my social media links, and let's just jump into the video. Love is so short, forgetting is so long. Very true words.
Are you for real?
Probably not.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I just feel like maybe I made you up.
Oh. Now, if I understand it right, this is supposedly in reference to her relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal when she was like 20 and he was like 32 or something.
I walked to the door with you. The air was cold, but something about it felt like home somehow. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you still got it in your drawer even now.
Say what you want about Taylor. She's a gifted songwriter.
Oh, your sweet disposition and my wide-eyed gaze. We're singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place, and I can picture it after all these days. And I know it's long gone and that magic's not here no more. And I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all. 'Cause there we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. Wind in my hair, I was there. I remember it all too well.
I'm kind of getting chills. Why is that happening? From the outside, they seem very cute together. I feel like this is going to turn sour.
Photo album on the counter. Your cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed. And your mother's telling stories about you on the t-ball team. You
Oh,
told me about your
you.
past,
What?
thinking
Hold on. Wait a second.
about you on the t-ball team. You told me about your past, thinking you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So can we say red flag? Not a little bit. There's something that happens. I've noticed. I've seen it multiple times. It is well depicted in film and things. When someone partners with someone else, when someone's really full of insecurities, one of the things that they do is work very hard to make themselves seem confident, seem cool, seem above things, right? They're too above things to get upset. They're too above things to get invested. They're too above things to emote about them, to be affected by them. So in situations like that, often you get behavior like this. Like, oh, that's sweet, but I'm in front of these people. I have to keep my appearance up. I have to keep my facade alive. So I can't seem to be taken by you. I can't seem to be smitten. I have to appear in control. I have to appear stoic and unaffected. And it's very painful for the person whose hand gets dropped. It's very painful, particularly in situations when they're around their partner's family or friends and don't really know anyone well there. It can be a very isolating and lonely feeling. It makes me angry.
T-ball about your past, thinking your future was me. And you were tossing me the car keys, but the patriarchy, keychain on the ground. We were always skipping
Red flag.
town. And I was thinking on the drive down, anytime now, he's gonna say it's love. You never called it what it was.
I'm starting to feel bad for him. To anyone else, did it seem a little bit like he was talking about her on the phone, essentially in front of her on the side of the road? I'm pretty sure I remember that this is depicting a like 30-plus-year-old dude. The fact that you don't have the emotional maturity to have a conversation without storming off, or know how to press pause on a conversation until you get to a place where you can take a break, because sometimes that's necessary. You know, if things get heated, you get upset, you want to make sure that you don't say something you regret, so you need a break. That happens. But if you're in a car, you can't really take it. So sometimes the only option, the best option, is simply to stop talking. It's necessary sometimes, and that's fine. But if you don't have the emotional maturity to do that, and you're 27, 30, 34, anywhere there or above, there's other problems going on. There's other issues that you have that have nothing to do with your relationship, and you should probably take care of those before you sort of entangle someone else into your web. That's just my opinion. I thought this entire thing was a song. It does say short film. I should have known.
Why are you so pissed off?
I'm not pissed off. Who said I was pissed off?
Because you're acting pissed off. It's ridiculous. These are my friends. They were super fucking nice to you, too.
No, I liked your friends. I never said I didn't like your friends.
Why
I
were
didn't
you
like the way that you acted around them.
You were being weird and quiet the entire time.
I was not being weird because you wouldn't look at me.
Oh, come on.
You asked me one thing the entire night.
Such bullshit. That's such bullshit.
You dropped my fucking hand. What am I supposed to do with that?
I didn't even fucking notice. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know
dropped your
any
hand.
of these people. They're all strangers. They're all older than me.
But like, what are you talking?
I feel so out of place. You're the only one
You're
that makes
making
me
this
feel
about
comfortable.
you.
You won't
I'm
even
like,
look at me.
I'm catching up with friends. You're literally saying I dropped your hand. Like, what? I don't even remember the moment that you're talking about. How can you be like attacking me about something I don't even like fucking know?
Stop. So we know that, yeah, everybody knows it's coming. This is a masterclass. It's an absolute masterclass in gaslighting. It's just, it's great. I mean, it's awful. It's terrible. But if you need to learn how not to treat somebody, you should watch this little snippet. There's no way he doesn't remember dropping the hand. I saw it. He saw it. It was very intentional and conscious. He absolutely remembers. One of my biggest pet peeves in any kind of relationship, no matter it's familial, platonic, romantic, doesn't matter, is being told I'm wrong about something I know 100% is true. This used to happen to me in a particular relationship, and it was very damaging. I'm always open to the idea that I don't know what's going on inside of someone, but if I'm seeing something like this, if I saw that, you can't tell me it didn't happen. Like, you got to give me something. You can't just say, what are you talking about? I don't know. That's crazy. It didn't happen. No, you got to tell me, no, okay, I know what you're talking about, but this is what happened. This is why I felt that way. This is why I reacted that way. Give me something, and I'm willing to go with that most of the time. But if you're just trying to gaslight me and tell me that it's not true, that I'm nuts, then screw you, man. Like full on. I mean, you're not doing anything but harming me. Abuse is abuse. Physical, emotional, mental, it's still abuse. And I don't tolerate that anymore. And nobody should. And if you're in that situation, like I wish there was something I could say that could help. I probably will leave a link in the description where you could possibly get some kind of help if you're in a situation where you're being treated this way and you're having a hard time finding your way out of it. It's not okay. You should talk to somebody, find a friend, find some support. I'm talking way too much. This video is already going to be really long. Let's just back up just a little bit.
I feel so out of place. You're the only one that makes me
this
feel
about
comfortable.
you.
You won't
I'm
even
like,
look at me.
I'm catching up with friends. You're literally saying I dropped your hand. Like, what? I don't even remember the moment that you're talking about. How can you be like attacking me about something I don't even like fucking know? I was doing it subconsciously. I was catching up with people.
Dude, you're making me feel fucking stupid.
Holy
She
shit.
kind of is, and he's making
I don't
her
think I'm
question:
making you
am
feel
I
that way.
being
I think you're making
like
yourself feel
like?
that way.
Should I be
Literally
angry at him
moments
about this?
that I don't even fucking remember that you're like fucking like holding me hostage over. It's insane. It's fucking crazy.
Don't do
in, like, 10
that.
years.
Okay, look, I know I just paused it, but I have a pet peeve. Look, sometimes it's valid, I guess. Absolutely, there are people of all types, groups, whatever, who are friggin' nuts. They are. They're just people out there who are just crazy and really need, to grow and develop. That's true. Sure. And some of those people are definitely women. That's true too. Just like some of those people are men, whatever, children, grown folks, old people, whatever. I have a pet peeve about, particularly in arguments or anytime whenever something is being discussed where punitive things can happen. Anytime there's something heated happening, I have a thing about using words like crazy, insane, unstable, irrational, emotional when talking to or about a woman. There's a connotation attached to it that just doesn't sit right with me. And listen, as a person who's had that defense or strategy used against them personally, not being a woman, it can happen to anybody, and anybody can use that to try to discredit you or try to make you doubt your feelings or make other people doubt you. That can be used against anyone by anyone, but there's something particularly gross about it when you use it toward women, especially if that woman has a connection to you where it makes her more sort of malleable to your opinion. Being that she's very young and he's older, it makes it even that much more gross. It's just kind of gross.
I don't think I'm making you feel that way. I think you're making yourself feel that way.
Don't do
Literally,
that.
the moments that I don't even fucking remember that you're like fucking like holding me hostage over. It's insane. It's fucking crazy. These are people I haven't seen in like 10 years. And you just sit there the entire fucking time. It was fun. I actually had a fucking blast. Now this is the night. Now we're doing this. Awesome. So fucking awesome.
You just treated me differently.
What do you mean I treated you differently?
Stop it. You know exactly
Look
what
at
she
me
means.
once.
What are you
Look at
talking
me.
about? I didn't
Oh,
look
no,
at you.
no,
I'm catching up with my friends.
Oh, trust me, they were enthralled by you, of course.
I'm so you're literally making the entire night about you.
Even look at me.
Holy shit, I can't. It's fucking selfish. It's literally like, it's so crazy.
Oh,
You're
so
making
I'm
it about,
selfish now. I'm
yes,
selfish
you're making
now.
it about, you're acting I'm seeing you're acting selfish. Absolutely. Right now, that's exactly what's happening. Don't fucking look at me like that. That's so fucked up. Hey.
No, stop. I know exactly what's about to happen. What's insane to me is it's always moments like this when people who are doing that say things like you're being selfish, you're making the whole thing about you, when exactly that is what they're doing with this strategy, this sort of you're crazy, that's insane, that has nothing to do with it, you're being selfish, you're being insecure, you're being clingy, you're being crazy, whatever the case may be. Whenever they're doing that, they're literally, unquestionably making the entire thing about them. My perspective, my feelings, my opinion, the narrative I'm spinning, that's the one that matters here, and you need to get on board with that. One of the things that's really important in any discussion, in any conversation, is to make a concerted effort at every point possible to consider the other person's perspective. Even if you can't stop every expression all the time, you can't stop every emotion from leaking out, you need to be able to intellectually pause and consider, wait, memory is fallible, experiences are personal, I need to listen to what this other person is saying. What happened that led them to feeling what they're feeling now? Because what they're feeling now, whether I remember it that way or not, whether I'm comfortable with it or not, what they're feeling now is simply and plainly what they're feeling now. That's all. That's absolutely true. And they can argue about events, they can argue about timelines and an order of events, but they cannot argue, you cannot deny the emotion that person is feeling right now. And that's what matters in those moments, is validating those emotions, exploring what happened to get them to that place, what part you played in it, and making an acknowledgement, a verbal and unqualified acknowledgement that you played the part you played in making that happen for them and bringing them to this place. No matter what, you did that thing. Find it, identify it, admit it, apologize for it sincerely, and don't forget that your emotions are valid too. and then move on from there. I don't know why I'm talking about this so much. It's
Hey.
this part's gonna piss me off. Stop it.
I don't want to fight.
Stop
I
it.
don't wanna fight.
Oh, you don't want to fight. Of course
Come
not.
on.
You don't want to
sorry.
resolve anything either,
Sorry.
though. You don't want to fight, but you don't want to stop and
sorry.
actually. No,
I'm
you're not sorry. Wow, did he just?
I don't want to fight. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I dropped your hand.
Stop. Oh my God. Did you hear the tone of voice? Did you hear the tone of voice? I'm sorry. I dropped your hand. Like, ooh, I'm sorry. Whoa, I did the terrible thing and dropped your hand. Ooh, I'm sorry. That ticks me off.
Come on.
That pisses me off.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Let
come
me
on,
see you
come on,
treat
come
somebody
on.
I care about this
Sorry.
way.
And I
Do it in
know
front of me,
if
just one
I'm
time.
gone,
Please.
There was nothing else I could do.
It's been a
And
really
I
long
forget
time since I've
about
actually
you
thrown a
long
grown
enough
man.
to forget why I needed to.
Stop it. No, she's hurting so bad. I can't stand it. That's an interesting question. And it's funny, I didn't hear it in the song. This is a beautifully written film. Cinematography is great. It's so warm. The lighting is so warm. That's a beautiful line. Kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. It's beautiful. Uh-oh. Here's more of it. My feelings, my emotions, where I'm at, that's what matters. I can see it. I don't even have to hear the dialogue.
Just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here as I remember it. Oh, oh, oh. They say all's well that ends well, but I'm in a new hell every time you double cross my mind. You said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been
Stop it.
fun. And that made me want to die.
All right, stop. Look, that's frustrating. So she said something earlier. She said something like maybe this was a masterpiece till you ripped it all out. What I love about Taylor's writing is that I know it gets interpreted a million different ways, but literally, like from a literary perspective, what I read in that is that this is not what she's saying it was. She's not actually saying that it was a masterpiece with that line. She's not saying, listen, we were great until you screwed it up. Everything was perfect, could have been great, could have been perfect. Today, things could be wonderful between us if you hadn't messed it up. She's more just expressing that feeling that she almost certainly had or would have had in a situation like this. Like this was wonderful till you screwed now, but obviously I'm assuming with hindsight, she can probably see where there were the red flags and the issues from the beginning. I love her writing. So that's from a skill set level, that's a very mature, advanced technique or tool to use as a writer. So that's really, really well done. Apparently he said if we were closer in age, it would have been fine. Listen, I'm not a person who like adheres to really strict age gap rules. I mean, they're obviously, it goes too far at a certain point. And I don't know. I think largely that has to do with personality. After a certain age has been reached, obviously after someone is an adult, then it becomes more about who they are as people and how they are with each other. So for instance, someone who's 28 dating someone who's 48, I don't have a huge problem with that. I don't look at it and think, ooh, gross. If somebody's 18 dating somebody who's 48, that's a little much. So at a certain point, I'm going to say around 26 or so for me, generally, and I say generally because people are different, but generally around 26, 27 is where I think kind of the all bets are off thing. You just fall in love with who you fall in love with. So at the same time as saying that, I'll say that people who say things like this, if we'd been closer in age, it would have worked out. Maybe it would have been different. You're just too young for me. One, it's a way to put them down and build you up at the same time, which is ironic because all it really does is say that you being older were not emotionally mature enough to recognize that this wouldn't work or emotionally mature enough to seek out relationships with people who are on your level as far as experientially or emotionally, right? So there's a problem there with you that let this happen. The 18, 19, 20-year-old didn't really do anything wrong. They're just living life and falling in love. If you, who have been on this earth an extra 10 or 12 years, didn't see the signs, don't know yourself well enough to stay out of it, then that's a you problem. Also, I don't think that age in itself is an issue all the time. Again, within reason, but it's more about who people are and how well they treat each other. Age becomes a problem when one person uses their experience, their knowledge to inflict or enforce some kind of authority over the other person. People in a relationship, in my opinion, shouldn't express authority over each other, period. So whenever you have somebody who's older, spending a lot of time teaching the person they're with how to live life, then that can be that's a very iffy situation. It should not happen. People should be relatively equal partners in a relationship. People bring what they bring, the other person brings what they bring. Hopefully you complement each other. Where one person is lacking, perhaps you're strong. That's ideal, in my opinion. So it's not this is another example, in my opinion, of the person in this story just being emotionally immature, just not being a very good, self-aware and considerate, compassionate, empathetic person. Because saying things like, if we'd been closer in age, you're basically telling the other person that something's wrong with you. You're not really a good person yet. When you grow up and maybe learn a little more, maybe you can have a good relationship. That's essentially what you're telling them, and that's incredibly messed up. Not okay. I'm talking a lot. This video is going to be so long. Really good question. Really good question. Even that dynamic, looking at that, it does not look even. Did he not show up to her party? Well, I have so many other things to say, but I've already talked way too much. This video is going to be so long.
Time won't fly, it's like I'm paralyzed by it.
It's okay,
Like
time will
to be
move
my
on.
old self again, but I'm still trying to find
You'll
it.
get there.
After plaid shirt days and nights when you made me your own. Now you mail back my things and I walk home alone.
That's hard.
But you keep my old scarf from that very first week, 'cause it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me. You can't get rid of it, 'cause you remember it all too well. 'Cause there we are again when I loved you so. Back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. It was rare
This actress is really good, by the way.
And I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age. From when you're Brooklyn
Ouch.
broke my skin and bones, I'm a soldier who's returning half her weight. And did the twin flame bruise paint you blue? Just between us, did the love affair maim you too? 'Cause in this city's barren cold, I still remember the first fall of snow and how it glistened.
Oh, it's Taylor.
I remember it
As a redhead.
just between us, did the love affair maim you?
Yes,
I
guarantee it. Well, sort of.
Just between us, do you remember it all too well? Just between us, I remember it all too
Wow. Like everything? I would love to see behind the scene footage of her like working on the storyboard. That's beautiful. Okay. I have so many other things that came to my mind that I would want to say out loud, but it would just take forever. I think this is already, what, 30 minutes long? 35 minutes I've been recording, so I've got to pull the plug on this at some point. This is going to be a really long music reaction, but I guess what I'll say is this. There are two things that I kind of come to at the end of a video like this, of a story like this. And one is all the things I said. Yes, there is a huge amount of responsibility in someone who is more experienced, who is older, to put limitations on relationships where limitations need to be. There are limits that one should place on things on themselves, and you have to stick to that. That takes emotional maturity. It takes self-awareness. So the onus in a relationship like this would definitely fall to the person who is older to have not properly handled the situation from the beginning. Having said that, it's important also not to take the autonomy away from both individuals. You have to remember and allow for each person to own their own choices. More responsibility can fall to one person than the other, but some responsibility has to fall to both. I'm just hesitant to completely take all of the responsibility off of either party in any situation, with the exception of certain situations that I can't say out loud on YouTube because of, YouTube. With the exception of those things, most things rest, at least to some degree, on all parties involved. Very seldom is everything all one person's fault. I don't know the situation, but this was definitely a story told from one perspective. It was a story told from one side. Beautifully told, beautifully read, beautifully sung. The music was great. Honestly, I got lost in the acting so many times. That young lady who performed in this, I've seen her before in something else. She's amazing. She did really incredible. Also, the very, very, very strong compliment to the director, how well this came off, because getting a good performance on film is a very complicated process, something that I'm not good enough to do, I don't think. And great acting is one component, and it was definitely there, but if you don't combine timing, the right angles, spacing, blocking, and editing, it can take great acting and make it look make the scene awkward. So all of that was done really well. So the directing was amazing. If Taylor truly directed this on her own, I'm incredibly impressed because this was expertly done. I've talked way long enough, so thank you. I hope nothing I said offended anybody too much. All in all, I thought it was a very beautiful video. I thought it was a very beautiful story, very tragic story. I thought it was told really well. And yeah, I kind of feel bad for Jake. not in the video, but like modern day Jake. Like if this is really about him, just thinking about the number of memes and hate on Twitter and Instagram and things he must have gotten after this came out, that's kind of intense. But yeah. All right. Thank you so much once again for watching, Clara. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Check the description for all my social media links, including a link to the Patreon, the Discord, the Buy Me a Coffee, where you can request a Jump the Line reaction just like this one. Having said all that, please remember, as always, to be kind to each other, and most importantly, be kind to yourself.